We're back, people, and today we're bringing up film on Tua Tagovailoa versus the New England Patriots, and he had a very, very good game. Obviously, he played near flawless, over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, was just making good decisions throughout the entire game. Like, we'll get maybe 1 or 2 negatives in there, but he was hitting tight window throws, getting the ball out of his hands quickly, spreading the thing around. Really nice to see Jalen Waddle have a big day. Jonnu was still a key focus within the offense, and it was just a heavy passing day for Miami, which was very different to the last time they played New England, where they went heavy run and were able to take that. But just different time all around. Tua getting through his progressions very, very fast. We're going to break down all that stuff. Good play calling across the board. I think they just do a very good job of getting teams like set up out horizontally, working things back the other way. Not going super overcomplicated, still mixing in the fun stuff. But Patriots went pretty man-to-man heavy, and they, took advantage of a lot of those opportunities. It was really, really nice to see. And we'll see, like, going into the next week, it's the biggest game of the season on Thanksgiving. So, nice to see them continue their offense's success. There was a little bit of, a down part when they put Skylar Thompson in the game. But the offense overall looked really good, specifically thinking, going over Tua in this video. They clearly need him healthy because Skylar comes in and they can't even hand the ball off properly, and it turns into a touchdown. So, we'll break some of this down. First play of the game. Just making things pretty simple, giving, quick, easy reads. Like, he sees this, a motion Jonnu out across this. He's just reading 23, like, because he recognizes it's, middle of the field close. This is probably cover 3. This corner's not playing the flat, so he's reading 23. He sees he doesn't immediately get out to the flat. He's already out leveraged by Jonnu. So he's going to throw that very quickly. It's just, boom, set your feet, quick release, get the ball into his hands, and let Jonnu just be a playmaker out in space. Also, just getting through progressions, starts to the right side of the field here. Boom. Doesn't like what he sees. From the other view, there's nothing's open. Comes off of it. Good timing. He comes back to the middle. Sees this linebacker's hips are opened up where Tua was just looking. So he knows, like, hey, I'm going to have Jonnu on the stick and nod. Boom. Back across the middle. Good placement to get it over this linebacker's hands. He puts enough, air on it. The velocity of it's good and just goes over his hand. Jonnu makes a catch over the middle of the field. Just feels like he's really processing so fast at this point in his career. Sometimes, he'll have the poor decision, but it's not usually when it has to come with plays like this, where he's just going through his progression, time in the pocket, get back onto the other guy, knows exactly where he needs to be, and Jonnu had a really strong start to the game. Here's just the, classic Dolphins with, Tua here. He identifies cover 2, sees it's going to be split field safety. His eyes go here. He knows he's going to be able to, these guys are gaining depth. He's going to have this spot to throw it to. And he moved initially this guy with his eyes. He's pretty much moving everyone that's on this side of the field with his eyes to open this up. And then anticipation, and look at him throw. He's already preparing to throw this ball. Waddle's not even close to where he needs to be yet. Like, that's how quick he's throwing it. And, like, just processing where the linebackers are, throwing it over the top. Puts, a lot of air under it, so it goes over the second level, but then, not enough to where it's going to float and go to the safety. This is a lot of trust, because imagine if Waddle, breaks a step earlier or a step later, or just there's anything slightly off. This ball's just going to be picked right to the safety with how early he's throwing it, but it's just him and the receiver just being on the same page at the same time, and it's able to hit Waddle in stride, and he's also able to make a guy miss, get upfield, pick extra yardage after the catch. Felt like we just saw an absolutely different Waddle today, and he was hitting these plays down the field, throughout the game, especially like the middle field throws. Like, here's another example of it. Dolphins, I think, do a very good job of spreading out things horizontally and, hitting you down the field vertically with, like, but also with a horizontal element, because they'll get, boom, horizontal, boom, get this whole, like, first it's play action, so it kind of slows down the D-line, gives them a good pocket. You pull Eichenberg across, it just eyes, look at all the linebackers' eyes where they're going. And now, really, the only thing is 23 is the only one in the window. And they also, we'll go back to it, but they did motion across here. I accidentally cut it out. But they motioned across, and Tua knew, like, Gonzalez followed him, so they know it's man-to-man. He followed Tyreek. Boom. Throw this back across, right over Duggar's hand. Move him just enough with your eyes. You're holding him with your eyes. Look how his first look back here, like, his eyes are to the right of Duggar, so Duggar gets his hips open to this way, and he throws it back to the other side and hits Tyreek right in the chest. Just beautiful, beautiful plays across the board. It's kind of, his, calling card at this point. And then here he gets to Jonnu, who's technically his 4th read, but you can tell that he pretty much just skips through it. Like, one, he feels a little bit of pressure, steps up in the pocket, good reset. But he's over here just reading, like, inside out, it looks like to me. Or, he kind of peeks at Achane. He's like, I'm not going to throw it. They have good numbers to this side of the field. Peek to the inside. Tyreek's taken away. Waddle's for sure not going to be open. So, like, he just processes, like, all this information. Like, they just have the number advantage. Like, them working across, like, nothing's going to be there. Like, everything is taken away. So, he goes to Jonnu very quickly, who he said in the press conference is his 4th option. Step up in the pocket, feel the pressure, get Jonnu the chance off the chip and release to score a touchdown, and he does. Really, really big advantage to have Jonnu in this offense, because I think a big thing about this play is, in the past, I don't know if Tua even would have got to this read, and then if he did, say this was Durham Smythe, I don't even know if he would have thrown it, because I feel like he didn't have a lot of confidence in the tight end scoring after the catch. I feel like he'd been like, I don't think they're going to score even in this situation. And then also, like, if he did end up throwing it and it wasn't Jonnu, they very decent chance they still don't score in this play, just because, they didn't have a lot of yak ability. So just having Jonnu there adds so much to the offense. Like exactly here, love the horizontal elements that they're able to create. It's almost like a play action boot with but coming from the opposite side, and there's no boot. It's just the quick toss, get everyone to move, freeze. Look what it does to 48 and 23. He sees that he's going to cross face on Duggar. Boom. Hit that all day. Hit him in stride. And then also, look where Jonnu gets hit. He gets hit before the 50, and he's still able to fall forward, fight for extra yard, get almost to the other 45. Really, really good part of his game. The hidden yardages that he is just constantly picking up. And then just hitting great ball placement. This is about as big. They motion across. He sees 48 going with him. Tua knows man-to-man. This is about as basic as it gets. He's just going over here. Slant flat, and slant goes upfield. Once he sees this guy, this DB, work away, around this, he could throw the flat, but once he sees he's not even looking at Waddle, this space is going to be open, he's going to take this to Waddle when he sees that he wins, and Waddle gets a great release, quick twitch off the line, and then Tua hits him perfectly in the chest in stride, which allows him to get up the field and fight forward for a bunch of extra yards on the play. There's really, really clean work. And Tua was taking shots first man-to-man. This one was probably one that could have been slightly more down the field, because he sees the linebacker one-on-one outside versus Achane. He was peeking at it all pre-snap. He looks, he sees single high safety. He knows, hey, if I'm going to get this double move one-on-one, I'm throwing this all day long to Achane. Puts it with good timing. I think the placement could have been slightly more downfield. It's not bad placement. He still gives Achane a chance. It still hits him in the chest. It's just if he puts a little bit more down the field, he might have been able to, not allow the linebacker a chance to make a play at the catch point. That's when he probably would want back slightly, but love the decision. Still give your guy a chance. And then he still makes up for it on, the next play, which is a 3rd down and long. Look at him manipulate. He identifies, he sees it's going to be a cover 1. Rat, he looks to this side of the field. Starts with Tyreek, who's kind of his first read, but this guy, he reads outside leverage. This guy's playing hard outside the leverage of the nickel, knowing he has inside help with the rat in the deep free safety. So he comes off of it, comes to the backside, and Waddle cooks Christian Gonzalez on the inbreaker. Boom, off the ball, hits it. Also, by him looking to this side, it freezes 24. And 24 does have man-to-man, I believe, on, it looks like Jonnu. So they end up bringing 5. So he's not really playing middle, but he's kind of still there as a rat presence. And then he hits it over the top. Good placement. Even if he was making a play, I think Tua puts it high enough where he wasn't going to get there, and Waddle's able to make another 3rd down conversion. Dolphins been so good on 3rd down since Tua's returned. Just a super high conversion rate. And then how many times have they scored on this touchdown? One, I feel like Achane's definitely the best at this, because he actually finds the cutback lanes to work back with the wall. I feel like a lot of the other times we throw screens, lane is here, and if it's not Achane, they don't find it. But we scored on this exact play. You get Achane out here. They go man-to-man, and then he just follows the wall back on the cutback. Look at Brewer here. Look at Brewer absolutely destroy 21. Brewer's so good out in space, but people get bodies on, and then Achane finds the lane. He's so quick, explosive. Love watching him go to work. Big time plays. Here's another big 3rd down conversion to Waddle. This time, they've been getting a lot of 3rd down conversions with man-to-man. This time, looks like, Patriots are dropping into a zone. They're playing a 2 invert where this corner ends up being a deep high safety. This guy does a good job of rerouting Waddle Waddle actually gets probably knocked off his route a little bit too much here. And Tua feels some pressure, but steps up into the pocket, throws off platform, finds Waddle, knows he's going to work into this space, knows where his guy is. But since Waddle's a little bit late, it actually ends up kind of helping out just because he's able to put this in a good spot where Waddle can go up, protect himself, use his body to shield out the deep safety. Very, very nice. Give him a chance. Make that catch as easy as possible. Just making plays slightly off script, not a too off script play, but he's going to be off platform. It's not within the timing of the play, and it works out pretty beautifully. And then here's, first down shot. Dolphins have been very good when they're throwing on first down. They go play action. Tua starts to the right side of the field. Doesn't like what he sees that it's muddied up. But could potentially maybe hit Malik, but 31's over the top. Tyreek's getting man-to-man, and the linebackers are actually playing it pretty well. They don't get super taken out of the way. So he comes off of it, sees that he's going to have one-on-one here. Like, he knows just based on the numbers that, this guy's middle of the field. He's going to have one-on-one on the backside, which, Waddle releases inside on this deep out, which is crazy. And look when Tua is throwing it, too. And it's a late read, and he's still throwing with anticipation. He puts it low and away, too, which I think is good placement here. Now, you could argue, I know they reviewed this, and they made it stand. If it was called not a catch on the field, I still think it would have stood the other way as well. So it was one of those ones that was close, but Waddle still comes down and away with it. Tua making good decisions, good reads on that drive. Very, very effective. And then here's just a good play call. You get Tyreek in the backfield, Achane in the backfield. You get a lot of plays flowing this way. Tyreek flows this way. Two receivers here go this way. And I believe they just, man-to-man, don't know exactly what's happening because I believe Duggar and Jones got a little bit confused. And here, I think they both take Tyreek. With Tyreek in the backfield, I think Duggar thinks since Tyreek's to his side, he's going to take him in. But since Tyreek goes this way, Duggar gets confused with his eyes. Jones also decides to come down and looks like he's going to take him. And then Achane's just walking free. Has Brewer as a lead blocker, but didn't even need it. He would have walked into the end zone. That's how absolutely... even if you look at, all the offensive linemen, as soon as it's thrown, they see it. Look at Armstead, see it. He's already pointing, already walking away. Everyone pretty much knows, which is, pretty cool stuff. Dolphins were able to, because the Patriots actually gave them cover one. Dolphins don't get cover one very often, especially in recent weeks, so I think the Patriots hey, Dolphins offense has been successful against, a lot of the cover two stuff, and it's time to maybe mix it up, go back to the stuff they used to be successful against. Cover one, they hadn't had too many slot fades. He uses, first looks off to this side with Tyreek. Thinks he might take a one-on-one to Tyreek, but Christian Gonzalez is clearly playing the vertical ball. Comes off of it, knows that if he does that, the safety will float to the side. He's going to have one-on-one in the slot fade to the field to Waddle. He puts it up, and the guy has pretty good coverage, but he puts it up to where, Waddle just has a chance. Put it slightly back shoulder where he can adjust, make a nice catch there. Good overall adjustment by Waddle there as well, because it's going to be slightly underthrown. But these are the balls that you'll want to slightly underthrown, because this guy's in pretty good position. There's not going to be help. It's not like if he hits him perfectly in stride, it's going to be an easy catch either. So you kind of just throw it up, give Waddle the chance to track it, because he's going to have his eyes on it earlier, and he makes a nice adjustment. Also, one of my favorite Tua plays, because looks like they're showing a quarters look here. They're showing split field, obviously, but it looks like with their depth, they're showing quarters. Tua's just reading Gonzalez. He reads the corner here. He knows he can take potentially this quick option. They're running smash. Just throw the quick to Jonnu. And once he sees this guy commit, look at Tua give a little pump. His eyes, shoulder commit here hard. Knows if he commits, he's going to have Tyreek one-on-one with a safety who has a nice leverage advantage. And Tyreek, boom, he does it, reset his feet. Quick throw, still throw with anticipation, and put it out away low for Tyreek to make a catch and get out of bounds. Just really, really good plays. But after this, I would say are probably Tua's worst two plays of the day for slightly different reasons. One, the Dolphins have to throw the ball here because they actually end up with a field goal. But they have to throw the ball here because it was 20 seconds left, no timeouts. So they had to throw the ball all three downs. This actually was the one time where I don't like when the Dolphins throw fades, but this is the one time I would have been fine if they just threw a one-on-one fade, because one, those have a low percentage of turnovers. You can't take a sack here, so it's very unlikely to get sacked on a fade. These would have been the one opportunity I would have been fine with it. Because here, I think, Jones gets pretty quickly, so Tua has to escape the pocket, which one I would like to see. And once he's here, this is where Tua needs to improve, I think, is just learning when to throw it away, especially when it's situational. This is a situation where you definitely need to throw it away and not force anything. Down in the red zone, you're really supposed to not take any sacks. So he does a good job of throwing it, but he tries to throw it back across his body with Jonnu. He gets lucky here because Duggar would have had a pick, 23. He gets lucky that 15 blocks that because he would have had a pick for sure. So that one he lucked out on. That was just a really poor decision from Tua. This one is just a slight miscommunication. I think Waddle makes the right decision to sit this because he feels Duggar's hard breaking to the inside. If Tua and Waddle are on the same page, they can sit down and throw this for a touchdown, but I think Tua expects Waddle to keep going, so it only turns up into a turnover-worthy play, another dropped interception. But to be fair, if Waddle did keep going, it would have hit Waddle right in the chest. He probably still wouldn't have caught it because Duggar would have been there to hit him. But this one's just more of a miscommunication. Still, I think read it slightly wrong because I think Waddle made the correct decision, but it's not as bad as the other one. The other one was just a really poor decision. This one's a little more of a miscommunication with a slight misread between the two of them. But Tua still looking solid in the second half. Didn't have to do too much in the second half, but the first half, that second quarter, they scored 24 points. He was absolutely phenomenal. Similar play to earlier where they go play action with the toss. I love this. They motion Mostert in to then do play action toss with the pulling guard, get these flowing back across. They play it better this time, so they take Jonnu away. 53 has the leverage. He sees it. He knows Tyreek's going to open up into this window. Look at him kind of like look with his eyes. Gives a slight peek there. Like, look at this. Right here, he gives a slight peek to the inside to 48 to get him to reset his hips. Because 48's hips are open to where Tyreek's going to go. He gets 48 to square back up with that slight movement, and then still throws it into the space. Just absolutely phenomenal work. He's like one of the best manipulators, even when it's super subtle like that. That type of play is awesome. This one is another missed opportunity. Like, this was another play. They should have a third conversion. Love the play call here, too, because they motion Odell outside, get him flowing this way, and they hard break him back in, and they get man. So Waddle gets taken away. Like, obviously, he would have beat his man, but they get taken away on the rat there. Tyreek's more of like the guy who's getting the rub route going, and they get him going on like this hard slant and fade to Odell, get him open, and they get it open. It's a beautiful call, but Marcus Jones knocks it out late out of Odell's hands. Would like to see him hang on to that because that was a beautiful throw from Tua, beautiful play design. The execution was all there until the end of that play. And these are exactly what Odell was brought in for, these third down conversions where he can get open versus man-to-man where like Waddle and Tyreek are getting more attention. So want to see in the future Odell come down with that because there's another play where the DB made another good play, but you want to see Odell potentially come down. But overall, offense responded nicely after a defensive turnover. They go seam rail slide RPO. They're, this plays all over the playbook. They get Waddle and him on the same page. Waddle sits down in the soft spot. Last week, we saw Tua and Waddle have a miscommunication here, actually, and it was slightly off. But look at these linebackers, and then Tua just fits this in a tight window. He gets it over the top of these guys. They get sucked down just enough. Gets it over the top of these guys, and then look at the placement to then give Waddle a chance to accelerate upfield, make the first guy miss, and then still get back across. For him to do this, too, like, look at this acceleration. From pretty much not moving at all, his feet are stopped, to then instantly accelerating, and then doing it at this angle, too, to cut to the inside and then bend it back to the outside without losing speed. This is why Waddle's so special. I also thought he was running harder today, like through contact. Like, look at him finish this run to get in the end zone. He was carrying guys throughout the game. Love this for Waddle. I feel like Waddle is one of the easiest guys to root for on the team. So really, happy for him having a big day. And that's just, beautifully executed. Last play to look at here. This one's on the final drive to pretty much close it to get the field goal. I mean, the game was over anyways, but they had to bring, this was after Skylar got benched. So our Skylar came in and then fumbled. I'm not going to show it. It's a pointless play because it's Tua breakdown. But they had to bring him back into the game. And there's nothing too crazy going on here. It's just, love the play action. Tua's just such a good salesman. He's great with the ball, and he does a great job with his feet. Like, look how quickly he feels this. He's selling the play action, and he's hard selling it. Look at him just get his feet back, reset, feels the flat defender 25, loosen this up, and he's just throwing it quick to space to Durham just to convert on a 2nd and 1. Really, really good job with his feet. A lot of his quick game has been really good this season. We know the average depth of target has clearly gone down, and I know that's not always like exactly what you want from your quarterback, the average depth of target to go down, But I think it's exactly what the Dolphins needed. They were always pushing the ball down the field, and it would lead to big plays, but teams made adjustments, and now the Dolphins have finally made their adjustments to those adjustments, and it's been really nice. They can still do some of the stuff with the play action, hits over the middle of the field in that 10 to 20 yard range, and still do it successfully. It's just not as common now, where it's an every play type of thing where they attempt that. They're now doing more stuff where they're getting the ball in the hand quickly, quick hitters in that 5 yard range, getting the ball in the hand into your playmakers like Jonnu. And I think Jonnu is a big part of why they're able to do that now. Same with Achan, and still take some shots. Will be interesting to see how they look versus Green Bay. It's the biggest game of the season. It's going to be a tough one. And it's in Green Bay and potential tough weather. I think the Dolphins are going to have to run the ball a little more successfully than they have been in the recent weeks. It's been a very pass-heavy team. Even though the pass has been like an extension of the run game because they're using a lot of quick stuff. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Really enjoyed watching this game for the most part until Skylar came in. But then it was fine again. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe.